AI, a tech startup focused on giving early-stage entrepreneurs all the tools they need to establish product market fit. He studied philosophy at UC Berkeley before working as a senior engineer for over 10 years at JP Morgan. Where's my daughter?
It's right here.
Oh, there you are. Visit. Headspace in Minerva University. Over the last 2 years, he has bootstrapped his own company, Kygo Stocks, an algorithmic trading startup, as well as consulted as an AI engineer for various LA companies. Christian deeply cares about access and opportunity and believes AI has an important role in evening the playing field for small and medium-sized business. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Christian Reyes.
I think we have.
Just for context, I think the stat last time I checked was 3 out of 4 people have never interacted with AI directly. I just want to get the temperature of the room. Can you raise your hand if you've never played with it before? Raise your hand if you've never played with AI before.
Never used AI?
Yeah, never used AI.
Anybody who didn't use AI not even once?
Just have them all.
It's okay.
Alright, cool. Everyone's on board. That's great. So less pressure for me to know this stuff. But yeah, just as a primer, as I mentioned, I studied philosophy at UC Berkeley. I've been in the tech world for 10 years. I've been at early stage companies, scale companies, like the Morgan Headspace, YC companies recently, as a founding growth engineer, and also as a strategist in marketing. And probably most relevant to this chat for getting out for marketing, as a bootstrap founder, I know what it means to make sure every dollar counts, essentially. And how AI has really changed the game for what we can accomplish as individuals that in the past maybe couldn't do 3 or 4. So I'm excited to share that with you today. My personal mission statement, I think they mentioned earlier, or Celeste mentioned earlier, is that I do think that there is a lot of information that most of us cannot take advantage of because you need to read all these books and hire all these consultants. And the power of AI is that you can train them on these models such that anyone has access to these things. And that's really powerful because, as I'll demo later, we can start seeing magic, essentially. There's one more at the bottom that you can't see, but the thesis for today is essentially, I use the word hyper-personalization. I think we change that. It's more so hyper-personalization plus authenticity, because the world is going to change. It's changing very quickly, even now, and there's a lot of noise. I think what other people were mentioning. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of things that just aren't useful. A lot of SEO keywords and blogs. People who make them and click the button. And the thing that's going to work in the future is actually creating something that is valuable, that's authentic, that is actually helping people. And that's always going to be rare because it takes a lot of work to do that. So, this thought was funny to me because it's sobering. This is today's business landscape, especially in marketing. So the first thing I want to bring up is that over the past 3 years, competition in every niche is 10x. And that's because the cost of making things nowadays is so much cheaper. Which is great if you are young and you have something to prove, but it also means that cost per leads have gone 20% year over year, and it's probably going to get worse. So more people are playing than ever. Probably 3 years from now, there's going to be 100x more competition than there was 3 years ago, which sounds scary, but don't worry, there are things we can do about that. And As I mentioned earlier, there are things like content writers, ChatGPT, Jasper AI, that with a click of a button, you can target keywords, you might be able to rank for them. But these are short-term arbitrage opportunities. I don't think that they're going to last more than a few years. If that, Google's already trying to make sure that those things aren't ranking as much, although that might be a little bit hard to do. But yeah, the state of the world is that competition is going up. The cost of everything is going up. The willingness to pay for all consumers is going down. I don't know if anybody's looked at their bills recently, probably canceled a lot of your memberships. That's just what's happening in the world. But the good thing is that if you can nail and leverage AI the right way, it's actually in trouble, because then you really stand out from the crowd. Okay, so the name of the talk was AI and lead generation. Lead generation is a big topic. There's normally three aspects to it. It's prospecting, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, finding the right people, right? The second thing is enriching. So if someone signs up for your newsletter or for your website, there are processes which you can enrich that data. You'll know exactly who you are, what role they have in the company, and who are the decision makers in that company, so that you can leverage that information for those sales. And the last thing is personalization, which I think is the most important part, mostly because the other two, the AI is just not there yet. The personalization that they have, I think that the LinkedIn can tell you, wow, what a cool college name you had, but it's not really going to, it doesn't feel like that yet. So, one idea that I think is very powerful from the research I've done is that one of the biggest things you can do when you want to close more leads is be more targeted. As someone mentioned earlier, you have to go niche in the world where everyone else is going broad. And one of the studies is from HubSpot, came out with an article or a study just last month, how the biggest thing you can do is create 40 landing pages for your website. The issue is that it's terribly difficult to do that. Maybe each one takes a week. So normally only big companies can do that. But we're about to move to a world, as I'll show you, that you can do that very easily, very quickly, and it might be able to change the company. Okay, so next I want to showcase the product I've been building. It's soft launch. It's an AI company that I've been working on for a while. You're probably one of the first few people to see it out of the left side of this far. And yeah, one of the big points that we do is we handle your positioning analysis for you, your competitive analysis for you, and we make sure everyone is talking on the same page by having the same positioning elements, which I'll explain in a second. So the job that I'm on the run right now is looking at the current FACCGLA website and see what the AI can say about how we might be able to potentially target a niche and maybe even improve the conversion rate. So this is my product, and you can just drop in any URL there. In the background, it's analyzing it, it's doing a competitive analysis. This is a little primer on what is positioning and why it's important, the different elements for it. As someone mentioned earlier, you don't want to say everything that you do because you only have a limited amount of time. It's more important to try to empathize with what problems you currently have and how your capabilities solve it. Ultimately, you can't tell people you're going to save you time and money. A lot of people try to say, we'll save you time and money, but that doesn't work anymore. Because what we do model checking, philosophically, we're actually paying attention to what our current pain points and the capabilities that you offer, and we're doing the math in our heads, whether or not we'll save us time and money. So at some point, we can't even say the benefits anymore, even though that's what most companies do. You have to empathize with what's the current situation. So this next step is some of what the AI is doing. It's doing a breakdown of a specific positioning of the website based on the competitive analysis. So you can see if people aren't here, maybe they are working in a more general networking group, or they are working in isolation. And you can have a through line of what are the problems with each of those alternatives, what are the capabilities that FACCGLA gives the consumer such that they can solve those, and the specific feature sets that actually power those capabilities. This is really important because you need to match up all your capabilities to the right problems, to the right alternatives. If you don't do that, then the message won't resonate. So this is all cool, but the magic is really when you can copy anything you see on the internet today. I think this is pretty brand new. I haven't seen anyone else do this, but any email you see, any website you see, any onboard thing you see in the world, once you understand the positioning elements, copy it, get it instantly. So here's a couple of templates from some successful software brands. And we'll use Slack for this example. This is their website, made for people, built for productivity. If we click this button, we should be able to instantly copy their brand voice with whatever input company we have. Right? So, pretty much instantly, it does that, but that's not the coolest part. The coolest part is
Awesome.
you can instantly edit. So, say we want to say, one second.
I love it.
So as I mentioned, everyone has multiple target audiences. And you can, well, you used to make one landing page for a specific audience used to be very difficult. Now I can just say, hey, make it shorter, also geared towards lawyers, look for the first audience. So pretty much instantly, it'll take that and legally looks kind of funny. But you can actually just say that and you'll be trouble. So you can just talk to it, say to someone, and she thinks it, and this is something that's probably a lot better. So if you compare, if you compare this copy, if I'm a lawyer that wants to join a networking group, which one resonates more with me? This one or this one? And again, you do that for any industry, healthcare. So really right now it's just zero copy, but ultimately in a couple of weeks I'll be able to make full landing pages, full ads. And because we have the same positioning, the same story from beginning to end, which right now no one's talking about the same story. So it's kind of twofold where you get the positioning right, and after that you can just tell the AI, hey, I like it this way, you don't like it that way, instantly make it. And you can instantly test it as well. So that even for my home page, I'm testing 10 variations of community agreements to make, and the data's coming in for to optimize. So, in conclusion, actually one last thing about this stuff is for SEO, which I know people mentioned before, you can actually just say, you can even tell which should be there it is. It'll take anything you want and make SEO optimized automatically. So that's another thing that, again, I don't think anyone realizes this is right here. We're going to be living in a world where we can just tell AI with words, I want this. Maybe you already have a company and it'll just make everything for you from the back of advertising all the way to all the way email. In closing, I really hope everyone actually students AI before this because I might have been overwhelming. But in closing, I want to say that moving into the future, we have to be precise because probably every piece of blog content that you read is going to be 20 years in the next month, 30 even. So really it's about, can you niche down? Well, everyone's afraid to do that. I think David Woodson mentioned it earlier. When you niche down to specific markets and try to nail that first, it tends to do much better than trying to destroy the whole market. The other thing is rapid adaptation and learning. So one thing is I don't want to come up here and pretend that if I work with you, then we'll automatically, your numbers will blow away very quickly. Really what AI is really powerful for is getting whatever idea you have in your head and testing it immediately. And creating, I'm ultimately going to build an automated A/B testing platform so you don't have to do anything and be constantly learning on what your audience is, what are they engaging with, and automatically testing new things based on their position. Maybe they like these other features. So we live in a world where websites are living and reading, they're learning, they're engaging. Even right now, if you like any of the copy on the website, they have to learn. So, okay, this is how you like to talk about your company. So every time you like something, it's already getting better and informs the way you enjoy. But yeah, it comes down to who can test the most things and get the most insights as quickly as possible. That's ultimately how you win the game in the future. And the last thing I want to say is that the AI landscape is currently changing. This right now I think is groundbreaking. I don't think I've ever seen it. There's mostly companies that try to use your brand voice. What does that mean for you? Which is why I built AI and copy the best companies and probably assume that they have the best copywriters and automatically feel like you hire them to an extent. But the landscape is going to change in 3 months and 6 months and 9 months. It's pretty much an exponential curve. We don't know where we're going to be, but I want us to balance that with be focused on what we need to focus on so that you don't lose track. You're not always just going from one thing to the next. But also, give 10% of your mind to what's opening up because there are step changes happening every few months. So, I have this all online if you want to see it. It's ditto.ai/MACCGLA. I also work as a consultant and or designer engineer. We have some of the best designers and developers in the Reyes and some of the headspace and JP Morgan collaborate with me and do much researchers as well. So pretty much a whole end-to-end shop. If anyone wants to talk about how they would use some information to increase the conversion and optimize the rates. But yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, Chris.